executive order that dramatically restricts new data center development across the state. The new EO does not fully ban data centers, but instead enforces strict new rules. Data centers must bring their own energy, pay for electrical grid upgrades, and get direct local approval. So, in other words, if a local community says, no, we don't want it here, the state will not issue the permit. Pennsylvania, just the latest in a growing wave of states retaliating against unchecked data center growth. Look at this map. It is spreading, folks. From Virginia to New York to Texas, states are revolting, slamming developers with audits, rollbacks on tax incentives, and stricter new power limits. Yet, while NIMBY neighbors, not my backyard neighbors, fight to keep these energy giants out of their backyards, one company has a wild new business it's building. They want to put mini data centers right in your backyard. Joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive, Span founder and CEO Arch Rayo. Arch, good to have you here. You were already making the modern take on electrical panels that transform and streamline home energy use, but now you're making a leap that puts a whole new node onto this. Can you explain what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. For the last several years, SPAN's mission has been how do we increase the utilization of our existing electrical grid, particularly a distribution grid that often has over 50% of headroom, by introducing digital power controls. So you and I as consumers could add an EV charger or a heat pump without necessitating the grid to be rebuilt or to be upgraded. We're applying the same logic as we think about compute. Compute is inarguably the fastest category of load growth, and we believe there's a way for us to bring distributed compute to the edge of the grid where there's abundant power capacity, power delivery capacity available, and that can be done in a way where the economics of our AI boom can be shared with more consumers.
Okay, I need to hear more about this. I need details. How big are these things? Can you give me a comparison so people understand?
Absolutely. So a typical extra node is roughly the size of 2 air conditioning compressors on the side of your home sitting on a concrete pad. So it's about 8 feet wide and about 3 feet deep and about 4 feet tall. And what it's designed to do, it's a purpose-built AI inference node. So it's not a single GPU running it. Think of it as roughly the size of a half a rack or a single rack in a large data center. And instead of having thousands of racks in a single large data center that often requires power, interconnection, land, and water, we've essentially designed this to be a data center in a box that has sufficient compute and connectivity to run the vast majority, if not all, of the inference applications that we use today and future physical AI applications.
How much does it cost to install? What am I talking about here?
That's a great question. So we envision this being a solution that we install at our cost. So Span and Extra will build, own, and operate these distributed nodes as a third-party owned system, if you will. And in exchange for having access to a bit of space on the side of your home or outside a small commercial building, we will not only give the consumer or the host, if you will, a free Span panel and a battery that can provide electrification and resiliency benefits. We will also contribute from the revenues we generate by offering cloud compute with our distributed inference nodes. We will help the customers pay for their energy and internet bill as well.
Okay, so let me be clear. I see monthly subscription, and you're doing a pilot program with Pulte Homes right now for 100 homes. Where, in the Southwest? Which state?
We are going to be building them across a few different states. We have a few nodes operating in California today. We'll be building them in Arizona and Texas as well in Q4 of this year.
Okay, so again, how much will it cost me as a subscriber per month?
Nothing at all. It's not designed to cost you anything. It's designed for us to give you a check every month, or at least help you discount the cost of your energy and internet. The whole premise here is AI compute is burgeoning very quickly. There's a tremendous amount of gap between demand and supply of power for being able to build large-scale data centers. We believe that by using existing electrical infrastructure, not only can we increase the utilization of our existing electrical network, which avoids the need for net new generation and transmission that often is cost that's carried over to all the ratepayers, we can actually provide economic benefit to end consumers and host partners like commercial buildings as well.
Okay, it's self-cooling. I got a lot of questions about that. Is this liquid cooling? Because the big concern with the large data centers is water usage. Is my water bill going to go up?
No, it is not designed to connect with your plumbing system at all. It's a closed loop system. So think of it as a heat pump or an air conditioning system that is dedicated to just the computer app that's built inside the extra node. It has a direct liquid cooling loop that also ensures that the system is very quiet. So we're able to operate below 65 decibels, which is about as loud as your average air conditioning system is. And at the same time, it is very efficient and it can operate for a long time out in the wild because it's direct liquid cooled down to the GPUs and CPUs that we have built within the node.
So it also can, I guess, share with the internet service. Is that correct? And do I get a discount for that?
That's right. So our vision here is, much like the electrical network, we're going to be investing in infrastructure for fiber connectivity as well. And we're bringing that fiber connectivity down to every single home. So in a new home construction context, we're able to use the existing distribution power infrastructure and the existing internet infrastructure. And that's used by the extra node. So the consumer's energy bill and internet bill will come down because we're able to share in the cost of that connectivity to you.
Within these mini data center nodes, there is a chip. I see NVIDIA. It's an NVIDIA Blackwell chip. Is that correct?
That's right. The vast majority of inference applications are served today by a Blackwell 300 or B300 GPU. Each node that we build is not a single B300 GPU. It's actually a purpose-built integrated system that has at least one server with 8 B300 GPUs. And oftentimes in larger commercial sites, we're able to deploy up to a rack size 72 GPUs in a single location without having to bring new power into those sites. So no new interconnection required. We're able to use the existing electrical infrastructure that we've already paid for to bring compute to the masses.
Those chips are expensive. I mean, people are already stealing, you're talking about, copper wiring from people's houses, etc. I mean, are these things at risk of being stolen if they're outside the house?
Yeah. Security is not something that we take lightly. We've designed the system with a lot of physical security in mind, but also cybersecurity and data security. Obviously, there are a lot of proprietary algorithms and models that often run on these enterprise-grade inference GPUs. So we've designed the system to be nearly impossible for you to break into. And the system weighs, about the size of an appliance, is about 1,000 pounds, and that's anchored to the concrete pad. So it's not easy to lift it away. And beyond all that, in my past, I've worked at Tesla where we deployed a large number of distributed batteries and charging systems. I think the risk of these systems being pulled away from the side of your home is relatively low, especially if you have the right kind of security in place.
Arch, let us know when you are rolling these things out in more states. I find it really interesting what demand is, and people are saying in my backyard, not in my backyard. Very interesting stuff. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.